Looking for your new favorite band? Tune into the Kevin Powell Podcast, hosted by me, Kevin Powell, on iHeartRadio. Discover rock, metal, and alternative bands with exclusive interviews every week. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. We got Kat, Vaughn, D, and
Sammy Doll.
And we're here in Wheeling, and you guys are on the In This Moment tour. Is this the first big tour? What's going on with this?
It's the first time we've opened up for a bigger act.
Okay.
So we've done our own headlining tours, not through this town, but yeah. So we're excited. We really feel good about supporting In This Moment. They've been great to us.
I was going to say, I've seen scrolling through socials, you had your own headlining stuff, but
yeah.
I didn't know if it was anything along these lines with In This Moment or not, but pretty good first experience, right?
Yeah.
So you guys have your own experience on the road, of course, but have you learned anything from being on this tour specifically as of yet?
Yeah.
Anything new? Anything surprising?
Yeah. I think it's always an honor when you're asked to open up for somebody like this because, obviously In This Moment can pick whoever they want to go on tour with them. And I felt like, I started noticing Maria was following me on Instagram and commenting on some of my posts, especially after I did a collaboration with Elisa from Arch Enemy. We did a song together, and so obviously, she's in the metal world, so
right.
I think there's a connection there. And so, one thing I've learned about Maria, I feel like she is very intentional about the choices she makes. Obviously, there's so much detail to her show. It's so theatrical and amazing that she's going to be particular about who she chooses to go on the road with her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why every night I always make sure to thank her because it is an honor and a privilege for us to be able to support her. It's great.
Yeah. Now, for someone that doesn't really know who you guys are, you walk into a venue and see this on the tour. What are we walking into when you guys hit the stage?
I think a lot of people are probably confused about what we do. I have an existing reputation from my past careers, and so people know me whether it's through tattooing or through my old makeup line, and not everybody knows that I make music, and Sammy Doll and I have been creating a very unique sound for quite some time now, and so it's interesting going on this tour because it's not the typical music we play. We make electronic music. We like analog synthesizers and sounds that are nostalgic from the 80s and stuff like that. So, but it's still on the darker side. There's some industrial elements to some of the stuff. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's a really good cross-contamination of both of the fan bases. There's something that they can take from us, and there's something that, we can, our fan base is able to take from In This Moment and all of the other people on tour with us.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you walked out and saw people going, and then they're like, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
It's definitely different, but that's also, on tours, you don't want the same band every single, you don't want In This Moment times 5.
Exactly.
You want a little bit of variety, which is great. And speaking of variety, you guys have this electronic and dark sound like you mentioned, and I love it. It's almost like you're listening, or it's almost like you're watching the Blade movies, right?
Oh, cool. Very cool. It's a good compliment.
Yeah. Okay. So after this tour, what can fans expect?
Well, we're actually we've already started writing a third album, and then we do have a few dates for a small Mexico run that we're going to be doing, which will be the first time we play in Mexico. That's the country I was born in, so we have a lot of fans there, and we've never played there before, so I'm extra excited about that.
Okay.
But after that, we'll be releasing new music. I'm doing a collaboration album with a lot of exciting people. There are people to get excited about.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so it'll be good.
So I have 2 final questions for you. I'm going to ask every band these questions.
Okay.
1,
make them good.
Pressure's on now. If you had to give any advice to bands that are just starting, musicians, why?
Because it's like...
All right, I'll change up my whole format now.
I'll tell you why. Because it's always like, don't give up.
I've heard that.
Every case is different.
Yes.
I think for me, I've always, and you can say your side, Sammy, but for me, I feel very ill-equipped to give anybody advice. I'm too busy trying to keep my side of the street clean and, do whatever it is, for my career in the way that we do things that might not be the same for somebody else,
Exactly, yes.
So I can tell you, be nice.
Stick to your guns.
Yeah. Have integrity. I don't know, but I suck at that. You
See, every band has their own different.
You're the positive one here.
See, yin and yang here.
All right,
yeah.
See, every band has their own different
What
answer
advice?
for this.
I would say for bands that are starting out or for bands that want to start out in touring or maybe perhaps get some kind of support slot to grow their career, it is something you just have to be very good at your craft and you have to be very adaptable.
Okay.
Like touring's not for everybody. And there's a lot of people that come out and they think like this is going to be their lifestyle, but it's just it's so different from what I think people glamorize.
Yeah.
So it's,
And some
I would
people
say
love
that,
it. I love it. I don't mind roughing it. I think it's exciting. I love seeing places like this town. I mean, it's, and some people are turned off by the inconvenience of a tour bus,
Yeah, or living out of a suitcase or
Yeah.
not knowing when to do laundry. It's just there's all these nitty-gritty things that you don't think about. But when it comes to the band aspect, it's like just be really good at what you do and believe in
hard.
what you do.
If there was one memory or instance or piece of advice that was given to you that stuck with you over these years, what was it?
Same. I think the same thing that I'm saying again is just whatever you do it with conviction. Don't half-ass it.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah.
I like to pay that one forward.
I've met a lot of disingenuine people. Like I just got an incarceration fest, and you meet a lot of fake people.
Yeah.
And it's like I can see right through you.
Yeah.
And like you said, you gotta be a good person.
Yeah.
But we've all heard that before. But what do you want to say to fans?
What do I want to say?
Yeah, anything that's like, sorry, I'm never this nervous. No, I never get stared down by two. No, I'm kidding.
By two gothy girls.
Yes, it's a dream come true. No, basically, any last words you want to say to fans? You got that new album coming out soon, right?
Yeah.
And any other tours, maybe?
I'm also not one to shamelessly promote myself. I think that one thing that I'm proud of that we've done is that everything has been organic. We don't have a record label. Everything we do authentically ourselves. We do work hard. And so when I see, like tonight, I saw, kids in the front row dancing and singing along, that is the dream come true for me. It's not so much about, being the headliner and playing the biggest. I mean, that's fun and all, but like to me, it's like that connection that you have with people. I just know as a kid that felt like an outcast all of my life, I felt a form of salvation from reading a lyric that somebody wrote on the other side of the planet that made me feel a little bit less alone. And so I think when you're able to do that, it's like, oh man, that is just, it's an honor and privilege,
Oh, wonderful.
Well said.
What was the big difference from moving? You had a big move, right, over into Indiana. So you were over in the West Coast.
Yeah, I was in Hollywood. Yeah, I lived in Hollywood for a good part of my life. And then we decided to pack up and leave the city life for a very small town. How small is this town, by the way?
Yeah, it's pretty small. I mean,
what's the population?
This used to, I couldn't tell you. This is, I'm not that into it. This used to be the state capital back in the
I saw you had governor statues that were really beautiful.
So it's small, but there's a lot of outskirt towns directly to the side that are like that. So it kind of makes up.
The town we live in is 1,200 people, so it's much smaller.
All right, it's not
than
that
here.
small.
Yeah, and so so I have an appreciation for the small towns of America because I do believe that is the backbone of this country, and so sometimes when you live in the big city, and I'm guilty of this, is like you kind of assume that the rest of the world is on the same page, and they really aren't, And I think that once you step outside of that bubble, and that's something that is a lovely thing that you learn on tour, I think is like visiting cities and towns you would never visit before, and you have a better understanding of this country. I personally love being surrounded by the working class. I love being in a very small town where people kind of leave you alone, but there's a neighborly love that's much more sincere than I've ever felt in a big city.
Homegrown is what it's called.
Yeah, like they'll back you up, but they'll leave you alone. I mean, there's definitely a big gossip mill, but like that's
how it goes. That's everywhere.
we find that in LA as well. So yeah, I appreciate that. I think there's pros and cons to both sides of it. Like there's not as much mosquitoes or ticks in the city. But we also don't have traffic, so it's it's a win-win. So yeah, I love it. I'm a huge fan of rural America.
Wonderful. Dream tour, anybody in the world? I want an answer from both of you.
Let's see.
Whether you're headlining or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's funny because I have all the stuff I like is very obscure and
that's
quite
fine.
Small,
More obscure, the better.
But then I like pop stuff, which I don't know if I would ever be a good mix for that. So What are you?
I'm gonna go with Metric.
Oh yeah, because you love Metric.
I love Metric. I love Polisa.
Uh-huh.
I think that would be an amazing bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's tons of. I mean, I love Peter Murphy. I love Ministry. I love.
Okay.
But I also love Ellie Goulding. So, but you know, so it's just like all over the
Ministry,
place.
Kat Von D, and Ellie Goulding. Let's go. That's the tour.
Oh, you would go, right?
I mean, yeah. If you need a photographer, no. I mean, regardless, I'll go. It'll be just small town shows only, though.
Oh yeah. Oh, that actually would be cool.
One fun thing, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. One fun thing I like to do when I travel is just like imagine how people grew up in those small towns compared to, all right, you come from West Coast, or if you come from New York or wherever, well, you can have a little bit of a difference. Sometimes all you got is Dollar General and the high school.
Yep.
So like, heck yeah, brother.
Hey, we have one stop sign. You guys are way ahead of us. So
I appreciate you guys stopping in today. Sammy, right?
Yes.
So Sammy, Kat, thank you so much for joining me, and I love the set. Can't wait to show you the photos.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you
stopping
so
by,
much.
and hope you have a great rest of your tour.
all right.
Thank you.
Mwah.